Welcome back, my fellow dangerous loving lizard people. I'm Sander, your most favorite lizard person on the internet. And we are in Homestead. Finally, we arrived in Homestead after all. We are now going to the Rotting Cortlands, I think we're sent to find out what's going on there, to do some harvest, to destroy some amalgamation. Amalgamation. Wow, too many syllables. Clear the infested fields also for the people here, and found some lost armaments while we're at it. So, a lot to do, a lot to do. I think we have to get out here anywhere. Are those gates? Yeah, those are the gates. And yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. We learned that Homestead is overrun with that's the guy from. That's the people we brought here. That we already talked to somehow with. So they're taking care of the fields now, so that we maybe in the future have some food left. I think before we get out there, we of course need to summon our friends. And that's it. Let me think. Yeah, we need to find out what's going on here. We need to go like this. We have Ethereals and this crazy blood cultists around us. So that we have like a lot of threats facing. Wonder how much problems there causes. Ah, this is like this. These are like this thingies that are like infesting the place that we're supposed to kill them up terrans. So that we can win the fields back of them, because we don't have enough food for the people of Homestead even. And not enough food for all the people. But we need more food, of course, because also Devil's Crossing is kind of starving. They have like a bit of fields for Homestead at least, but it's not enough to share anything with us. So these huge insects need to go. So that I can reclaim the fields, that we somehow maybe get some more crops out of it. And when we have that, then we can maybe somehow live to see another day. We also have to rebuild like all of the social stuff. We have to rebuild like the whole economy, and even if we only start with like the most clear thing like food and stuff, we have to start somewhere so we can get back to some kind of society at some point, right? There's some dead bodies here. Nothing else though. Only dead bodies. No survivors, of course. Why would there? Why would there be anyone surviving this? At least now we can help people here. Kinda important, I think. You see, like, there's a lot of different stuff. Cabbage, pumpkins. All important for good nutrition, I guess. Black Legion people don't really care much about the food, and like a ton of reasons why we shouldn't concentrate on them. But it's perfectly good fields, and we really need the food. I mean, if all the people starve, then what are you protecting still? Okay, we cleared them out completely. Let's just check if there's anything else here. Only more bodies as it looks. There's a lot of farmland here. A lot of places. These are just insects. I mean, they're far less harmless than any... I mean, they're huge insects, I give you that, but they're far less dangerous than any Ethereals could be, right? Ethereals are thinking and knowing exactly what to do with humans and stuff. Using them as a breeding resource and stuff like this. To possess them and all those things that are kind of scary. But that's Dahlia's diary. Not the dead sister we found. Missing diary. Oliver wants me writing in here anymore. So basically this is the diary of the dead sister we found. I guess Oliver would be happy to have something of his sister, I guess. Poor guy, losing his sister, losing his home, losing his family, I guess. That's pretty terrible. I'm a bit worried about this Aether abomination that we're going to find. Seems to be really big and dangerous. I'm a little bit worried about this. Because I can imagine that it won't be nice and easy to get rid of this. So we cleaned out all the fields, I think. With dumping. That's a place to start. Let's see, can we read the diary? Big. No, we can't read it. Ah, we can read an excerpt from it, at least. Oliver doesn't want me writing in here anymore. He says it fills my head with dreams when there's work to be done around the farm, so I've been writing at night when he's asleep. He cannot stop the muse that pulls the strings of my heart. The Weeping Oak by Dahlia Thornsbury. The limbs of a nearby tree trapped a steady rhythm against the bedroom window. Another storm was building up on the horizon, but Dahlia could not stake the feeling that this would not be just another shower. She sat up in her bed and took a quick glance at her husband, Oliver. He was still fast asleep. Not even a hurricane would stir that man from his slumber. Ah, so it's not the missing sister, it's like a... She just has nearly the same name, it's a completely different person. It's the wife of this Turnberry farmer. Dahlia got up, making sure not to shift. Dahlia, ah, she's also called Dahlia, not Dahlia. Sorry for this. Dahlia got up, making sure not to shift the covers of her husband. She tiptoed to the wardrobe and retrieved her gear, a well-worn suit of light leather armor and her trusty sword, Stormheart. The blade sparked with electricity as she removed it from its scabbard. The enchantment was still as strong as the day she had found it in the tomb north of Darkvale. Dahlia replaced the blade and hooked the scabbard into her belt. She took one last glance at Oliver before heading out the door. It was best he did not know about their little nightly vigils. He would just worry himself sick, and Dahlia could not stand to see him so obsessed over her safety. The wind whipped Dahlia's hair around her face as she stepped out the front door. The rain was already starting to pick up. The ground was drenched with moisture, turning the path into mud. Dahlia tread carefully, planting every step on a stone, or whether the ground was still firm. At least she arrived at the edge of the lone oak tree. A place she could be alone with her thoughts, but there was something off about the spot at night. A deep sense of dread immediately overcame her. "I knew you'd come out to greet me, Dahlia, my dear," a ghastly voice spoke from behind the tree. Dahlia drew Stormheart, its sparkling surface turning the raindrops into mist. A dark figure showed itself and calmly walked towards her. She could not see the man's face, but she knew well who he was. "Come now, is there any way to greet your brother?" The man spoke again. Dahlia did not say a word. Instead, she let her blade do the talking for her. The figure countered the blows with a blade of his own, a burning sword that left streaks of fire across the air with every swing. "I see you've been practicing," the man said with a grin forming on his lips. Thunder crackled in the sky as lightning flared down from the heavens, briefly illuminating the scene. The light from the storm revealed the face of Dahlia's adversary, the grisly, heavily decayed face of her brother, Travis. Dahlia hissed through the clenched teeth. She drove in for another attack. Ooh, I wonder what's going on. This is a really interesting story. So she wrote like stories like this, and herself as a hero into them. That's kind of cool. Let's go over this bridge here. the way anyway, so why not cleaning out some pit on the way? No? Not as if it's a bad thing to do. We have the resources anyway. We are stronger. And a strong lizard. So this we already saw. From there. But what's the small ground here? I'm too curious. Ah, this is where we found where we were from the house on the other side. I like hidden treasures. We didn't find them in a long way. There was a lot of straight space now. I wonder what happens if when we're ready, when we're done with this and we return to Devil's Crossing. I mean, face like all the dangers soon. If we can secure like any way to get food, we killed like a lot of the Tyrians. I don't know what else we can do. I mean, there seems to be somewhere this son of the Emperor. Somewhere. But we don't know about this yet. Ah, this is the rotting Farmlands. So we don't know anything about him or his fate. But if the blade hit him, then I guess he's still okay. Because we know now that he's like really mighty. People. How goes the journey, traveler? It's a dangerous world. Sadly that it is. Normally we would have moved on by now, but it's not safe to travel anymore. At least the land provided for our needs. Okay. Hello, traveler. We don't get many visitors out here. Not in the Dama Terrans running wild. How does your wife out here? We try to stay out of sight. If anything dangerous gets too close, we put out the campfire and hide. We plan to leave this place soon, though, and you should too. Why don't you go to a safe place? Humkalo. What a name. These are dangerous times, traveler. The roads are not as safe as they used to be. Normally I'd welcome you to sit by our fire. You'd be better off leaving this place. Anything you can tell me about this area? If you're heading north, I'd be careful in the farmlands. They are overrun with their mob tyrants. They get more concentrated closer to the nests where their queen resides. If you find a large hole in the ground, I'd steer clear. Okay. Maybe we just kill it anyway. We just steal her journal. No one cares. Lara's journal. Had a nightmare again. I'm in an old tomb, barely a candle to light the way. Off in the corner I see a pair of red glowing eyes. They come closer, closer. Then just before I can make out what it is through the shadows, the creature is gone. I try to run, but every way I go ends in rubble and stone. There is no escape. I turn around to see the eyes once more, staring back at me. I hear laughter, a child's laughter. Then everything is fire. I try to scream, but nothing comes out. The eyes just stare ahead as right in the flames. That is when I awake, drenched in sweat. It has been like this for 5 nights in a row. The nightmares are becoming more frequent and I am not sure how much more of this I can stand. It may not be wise, but perhaps it is time we moved on from this wretched place. This sounds pretty dark, really. We are not a fearful lizard though. We have tasks to fulfill. And no crumbling wall and nothing else will stop us from it. Haunted harvester walls, they look scary. Really interesting place. A lot of fields, a lot of crops, I think. But so much death and destruction and decay. terrible places. That's for sure. Okay, that's back to the big farming area. I'm a lizard, I eat you bugs alive. Don't even take time to swallow. It's a bit sunny though. I'm not used to being so being out in the sun like this. It's too bright. I mean, up until now we were like in a lot of caves and dark areas, and here it's like crazy sunny. I'm really not used to this at all. Oh, another buildings. But I bet there's nothing that survived there. I mean, kinda, if we would call them survive. Water snout. Wherever water is, I guess one of the dead people here. Or the owner of this place, maybe. Why didn't they... Ah. Let's see what water has to say. I can see smoke rising from the Everbrook estate. They're nearly here, whatever they are. I've barricaded the doors and windows as best as I could. All that remains now is to wait for them to come to us. The wife insisted that we abandon the farm and head for Homestead, but I'll be damned if I let some green-eyed freaks kick us off our land. Our family has not toiled on this farm for generations just to leave it at the first sign of trouble. Those cowards in Homestead can leave their crops to rot. When all this blows over, I'll still be here tending to the harvest, and they will look, the fools. I don't know. I don't think it turned out well, right? I mean, doesn't look the way. And I hope your poor wife didn't listen to you and just did escape. But there's always these brave fools that think they can best everything. Brave they are, but fools nonetheless. Yeah, shrine, yay! Shrines are always good. Okay, not all of those. I think we also will find this nest that this guy, that this people told us about. I'm pretty sure we'll find this nest and then we also destroy it. Just because we can, then we show them. Then they know. Never underestimate a lizard. Empty destroyed houses everywhere. What are you looking at? It's all empty, it's all destroyed. All damaged and barren. Pretty sad. Can't cross here? Ah, there we can. Because I don't really want to cross like this green stuff. That's a lot of beta stuff. A lot of beta corruptions here. I don't know if you can ever completely heal the land from all this. If there's any way to clean out the Zeta stuff? I wonder, because I mean it will still be there now, so can you clean it out? Is there any chance? Yeah, we just all lost forever. So, but for today's episode, we're already at an end again, of course. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you stay safe. Maybe consider liking and subscribing. That would be amazing. Maybe head over and check my Instagram. That would also be really cool of you. And come back for the next episode, of course. Maybe there will be a bit more action. I don't know. Actually, right now there isn't much dangerous or anything. Just some insects and some crawling around and stuff. But I hope it gets more interesting soon. So stay with me. Go through this with me. And let's hope we can save humankind at the end. So, until the next time, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for your support, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye, keep on rocking!